and this was a one of one that they had at that time. So it's not a plant that they have many of, so I'm really happy that I managed to score this one. Yeah, and this one, actually I don't know what's wrong. And again, it is a testament that not all plants grow well in a grow tent. This looks like a seedling, but I've had it for months. Absolutely love a Warocranum hybrid. Two Anthurium Warocranum hybrids. I have another Warocranum hybrid, Anthurium Warocranum hybrid. There's another Anthurium Warocranum hybrid. Over here, I also have some alocasias. That's my miracle plant. Never write off an alocasia. So I think Goeiemorgen, goeiemiddag, goeienaand. Whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening where you are, it's always a good time to watch some plant here too. My name is Shanae, and we are back in the plant room today. Like I said last week, we are going to be having a look at what is in the second Growtent that I have in this room. During the week, I also posted some shorts where I explain why I decided to grow in grow tents. For those who didn't manage to catch it yet, here it is. 2 reasons why I've also decided to grow some plants in a grow tent. Number 1, I already have enough plants in all of my other rooms that is growing in ambient for my liking. This is my living room, and I already have plants here. This is the other side of my living room. I already have plants here too. This is my hallway. I already have plants here. This is my guest bedroom, and I already have the shelf that is filled with plants that is in recovery. This is my bedroom, and I already have plants here. This is my arts and craft room, and you already know I do have some plants in here. This is my patio, and I do have some plants here. Reason number 2 is this is my hobby, my house, my plants, so I get to decide how I want to grow it. There is no right or wrong way to do things in this plant hobby. It's all about what works for you and your environment. Have a lekker rest of your day. Bye-bye. So this is 2 reasons why I've decided to also grow some plants in a grow tent. Number 1, I have much less plants looking like this. This is also a space that I share on a daily basis with my dog, as well as some kids coming into the house very often. And if the conditions outside is not optimal for playing, we normally play inside. If I were to have more plants in the space, I would most definitely have more plants that have holes like this because of toys like this and toys like this. I've decided to rather create separate spaces in my house where I can have fun with my family and friends, as well as my furry kid, and have another space where I have blissful, quiet moments where I can spend some time taking care and looking at my beautiful plants. Reason number 2, it's my hobby, my house. That is what I choose to do. There is absolutely no wrong or right way of doing things in the hobby. It's all about what works for you and your lifestyle and your environment. Have a lekker rest of your day. Bye-bye. Before we really get into what is in the grow tent, I do want to tell you a little bit about the grow tent and the setup that I have over here. So this one I got from Takealot, and the size is exactly the same as the one that I showed you last week. So 1.2 by 2.4 by 2 meters. The most notable difference between the two is pretty much where the front of the doors are. So both of them have 2 doors, but this one have a separation. So if you look at this one, it has this extra bit of fabric over here. So there's a door on this side and then there's a door on this side, whereas that tent doesn't have this extra bit. So there's a zipper over here where this door opens up and this door opens up, so you can basically see all of the plants and you don't have this little bit of obstruction in your view. But it's not really significant. The other difference between the two is that that one has a little window. So with this one, I have to open these doors to be able to see what's happening in the grow tent. But with that one, if I just want to have a quick peek without really going into the grow tent, I can just open up that window and have a look at that. I don't use that feature a lot, so not really significant for me. In this tent, you have the same shelves that I mentioned to you last week that you can get off Takealot as well, and then the light is completely different. So this one is a much cheaper light, it's also Samsung light. So I'll put it up here if you are interested in this one. It serves the same purpose, it's just as strong. It doesn't have the tilting action that that one has, so that's the only disadvantage. So here I have quite a couple of areas that's a little bit darker, but the plant seems to be doing okay with that as well. So with that said, now let's look at what's in here. So, alright, so we'll start on this side again, we'll go down and then we'll move our way to the other side of the Growtent. So this is my beautiful
Not again.
philodendron. And in last week's video, I said beautiful so many times. So today I'm going to make a conscious effort to not say it. So let's try that again. This is my stunning clarinervium. This one actually used to live out in ambient, but I think I repotted it and it took a little bit of a nosedive, and that's why I have it in here. I did quite well before, but I think this one I might have missed some waterings or were too late on watering, so it does have a little bit of damage on here. But generally, this plant is quite okay for me. Not a beginner plant like many people say. It's actually quite a finicky plant, in my opinion. Next to it is my Zara Michelle, and this is the newest leaf. It is so beautiful. It's a lot of light on it at the moment, so you won't be able to see the true color, but it is a very purplish color. It is flowering at the moment, so this flower, it wasn't one of the first ones. I think maybe the third or fourth flower that I decided to pollinate. There is another plant that I have in the other tent that I probably showed you already. It is a Magnificum cross with Zara Michelle, and I absolutely love that plant. I love the texture of it. So I want to recreate it, so I did pollinate this one with the Mag Verde. If it is successful, I will have some Zara Michelle cross Mag Verde hybrids. So that should be interesting. That's what I do struggle with. As you can see on this leaf, there is always some damage. So the leaf comes out quite perfect like this, and then after a while, there is some dents or some discoloration on the leaf, and then eventually it hardens off to this. I think it looks like a fungal issue. It hasn't spread to any of the other plants. So maybe something that is specific to the Zara Michelle. I think I've seen other people with the Zara Michelle, and they also have some fungal issues. So I think it's really a Zara Michelle issue. I'm not quite sure. But it's also quite cool. This is the newest leaf on the Zara Michelle. And similar to my dark Forgetii, I also decided to do a double spade, which is quite cool, quite interesting. Haven't seen a lot of people share something like that before. I don't know why it happens, but yeah, it is what it is. So right next to the Zara Michelle, in between the other leaves, I do have an anthurium red spider. There's some other leaves hiding over there as well. This one doesn't look like the red spider that I really want. This one just looks like a Forgetii with a red sinus. So yeah, I did go ahead and order the one that I wanted, and it should come into the house maybe in the next 2 months or so. Right next to that is my beautiful anthurium black crystal. This one is recovering. I have actually let that one get root rot. Because it's so tucked in amongst all of these other plants, I kept on watering it too frequently. And when I eventually realized that the plant is not growing at the rate that I'm used to, I lifted up the cash pot, and then I realized the water levels was pretty high, and the water level should be around here. So most of that roots actually was sitting in water for a while, and I didn't realize. So it rotted quite a bit of the roots, but now it's on the recovery, and the catapult is getting a little bit thicker. So I think we should be expecting a new leaf on that one real soon. But that's a real shame. Really learned from that one. If you go down a level, so this one is a anthurium dressleri, and next to it I have all of my first hybrids. So there's quite a few in here. I'm keeping them for various reasons. Some of them are variegated, like you can see this one, and there's some variegated ones over here. This has a little bit of variegation, if you can see on this side. This one also has some elbow variegation. This is how a variegated leaf looks like on this seedlings. So it does have Polaroid variegation. So if you look at this leaf, it doesn't quite look like there's any variegation, but if you look really closely, you would be able to see that there's some discoloration in it, and that's where the variegation lies. So once the leaf hardens off, then you would be able to see the variegation. But these ones are quite unstable. Because it's a first generation hybrid, the variegation is not very stable. This one, for instance, had on its previous leaf variegation that looks like elbow variegation. But on this leaf, you can see that it looks more like an Aurea variegated leaf. And then the latest leaf looks like there is nothing. And I'm pretty sure the next one is going to have a different type of variegation. The same happened on this one. As you can see there, some nice white elbow variegation. This one, oh, not that one. This one look like there's a little bit of variegation over here. It looks more like a Oreo variegated one. And this one, I think this is more sun stress than variegation. And then this is the newest leaf, and it doesn't look like there's any variegation on this one, but then the new leaf does have some nice variegation that I can see already on here. So a little bit unstable, so still keeping them to see how they are going to progress. But yeah, quite nice seedlings. This one is probably the biggest of the bunch, along with this one. They look quite different. This one has more of a nice sheen to it, and this one kind of looks more matte. But both of them have some new leaves incoming, so quite interested to see what those new ones are going to look like. This one actually has, and I don't know if I would be able to show it, this one actually has a semi-fused sinus. So I'm hoping that that is the beginning of a fused sinus. That'll be interesting. Anyways, I didn't mention it before, but these are the blue mag cross dark forgetii hybrids. If we go down, this is absolutely one of my favorite plants. So this one is the anthurium X-ray. This one I was a little bit worried about because it didn't work on a leaf for a while, but finally we have a new leaf on the way and some new nice pink roots over there. So I think nothing wrong with the plant, probably just took a little bit of a break. Next to it, I do have two versicolors. They actually just bought one, and I think there was two in the pot, so I ended up potting them up separately. They take a while to settle, so this one, maybe I didn't get the watering right, but on this one, it looks much better. So I think it is going to be okay. Like I said to you last week, I do want to have in my collection a circus peanuts, and that is a versicolor crossed with drizzlery, and that's why I got these versicolors. So hopefully I can grow them to maturity. They flower for me in the next couple of months, and we can cross them with a drizzlery and have some circus peanuts homegrown in South Africa. That's going to be quite exciting. So just in front of that, I do have this anthurium X-ray, and I think this was a cutting of this plant that I took when it came into the house. We have a new leaf on the way. This one is such a prolific grower because it's growing in the tent, and this is reflective material. Their ears, actually, as you can see there's a lot of light that this tent reflects. So my plants tend to grow in all different kind of directions. So that is what this one is currently doing. So all of the other leaves is growing to the front, and this one has decided to grow to the back because that's where the light is coming from. So what I normally do with those is I normally leave it, but if they are bothering me and I am able to turn it, I'll do it like this. I'll tilt it just a little bit and use one of the previous leaves as a little bit of support. This one is not going to, if I tilt it all the way to the front, it's just going to go all the way to the back. So that's why do it a little bit at a time. So once that establishes, then I will move it again and use this one as the support, and eventually, hopefully it will grow to the front as well. Next to that, I do have this crystallinum cluster regale. Such a beautiful plant. This is the first leaf in my care. Definitely looks like a crystal, but also definitely looks like a regale. So really the perfect blend between the two. So nice. Alright, let's stay at the bottom and then we'll make our way up. This one is a new leaf on a Bessia F cross drizzlery. So stunning. All of those colors is just so pretty. Really love it. This one is a papillolaminum. Like I said in last week's video, the one that I have is not looking the greatest. So I did get another one that I'm hoping I'll have better luck with. And this one seems to be quite okay. This one is the new leaf in my care. For the shock of the new environment, I did produce a little bit of a smaller leaf, but that color is just so amazing. And it does have a new leaf on the way, so really excited to see what that one is going to look like. This one is a anthurium swissol inverse crossing. So this is a magnificum cross crystallinum. So I do have two of the inverse of that, which is the crystallinum cross with magnificum. But I really wanted to get this one, but I saw a video that someone posted like that they got from Ecogenera, and it was also this one, the Magcross Crystal. So someone on YouTube went to a Ecogenera pop-up in Europe, and they saw this Sewer Soul, and I'll try and put a picture up on here. It is absolutely beautiful. When I saw that, I immediately had to get one. At the moment, this one doesn't look like that one at all, but maybe time will tell. I think this one already looks like it has quite different features to that one, but I decided to give it a go. So we'll see what happens. I still really like the plant. Over next to it is one that looks a little bit sad, but if you were here probably a couple of weeks ago, it would have looked even sadder. There was literally nothing happening. One is my Anthurium rugulosum. So I will try and put a picture up here where you can see what the plant looked like. Probably about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, I actually propped it and I transitioned it from soil to pond. I didn't like it. I didn't do anything for the last couple of months, but now finally it has woken up and it is giving me some nice leaves. So hopefully it does continue and have a beautiful big rugulosum very, very soon. Right next to the rugulosum, in between the two shells, this is Anthurium cunealens. This one doesn't look that good. I think I'm not giving it the necessary care that it needs. I have been quite focused with other plants, and this one I kind of just let be. And I think, yeah, this is, in general, it is a difficult plant. So I think maybe in the next couple of months, I should spend a little bit more time figuring out the needs of this plant. That's also one thing that I wanted to touch on in this video. Just because I'm growing in a Growtent, people say that it is perfect conditions, but it's not perfect conditions for all of the plants. Some of the plants don't like it. Not all of the plants are going to do well in the Growtent just because they are in the Growtent. There's still a lot of other things that I need to do to make sure that my plants grow quite nicely. All right, so moving to the shelf above that, this is Anthurium nigrolaminum equigenera crossed with luxuriance. So not the nigrolaminum GG that we know, but this is a little bit different. I think they kind of look similar, but there's definitely some differences. This is the newest leaf. I did say once this one hardens off, which it is still a little bit floppy, it is going to be moved out into ambient. So not its permanent home, just got put in here because I wanted to acclimate quite nicely after it got imported. Right next to it is Anthurium espisolva, and this is such a pretty plant. The appeal of this plant is that it is quite silvery, but unfortunately as it grows, it does lose the silvery, so it does become more of a green type of leaf. But the new leaf is such a beautiful light brown chocolatey color. This one, as you can see, I did damage. I think I was doing something here and these pots fell, and in my attempt to catch it, I also caught a little bit of the ear of this plant. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but so this one is going to have some scars, and that's okay. The next leaf, I'm going to be a little bit more careful, and hopefully that one is going to look quite nice. This one is also just put in here to acclimate. I did say that I only want to grow 2 or 3 leaves on it, and I think this one is the third one. So once this one also hardens off, it will go out into ambient. And I did get the question last week. Thanks so much for the question. How do I transition my plant out to ambient from the Growtent? I take a very simple approach. I just take them out of here and put them in the new location, and then it's all about monitoring. So if I can see that there is some stress with some plants, then I will do something. So if it looks like the plant needs some more humidity, then I would supplement it with a humidifier close to it, and then gradually just reduces that humidity. If I do see that the plant is showing me that it is in to a higher light area, which in my house I have more darker spaces than highlight, but if that does happen, then I will just move my plant. So very simple approach, and I generally find that the plants are quite adaptable. All right, so right next to that one, actually more towards the back, is a cutting that I took, and this is the Anthurium hoffmanii crossed with Forgetii. And I think I just saw that it is, yeah, a new growth point has activated. So that is quite exciting. Right next to that one, I have one that looks a little bit sad. But this one is the Anthurium crystallinum cross with Warquanum cross with BCAF. I bought this one off of Equigeneri's live sales, and this was a one of one that they had at that time. So it's not a plant that they have many of. So I'm really happy that I managed to score this one. And yeah, it has a lot of potential, but it hasn't been growing too great. There's a growth point that is activated, so I'm excited to see what this one is going to produce in the next couple of weeks. Right next to it is another Anthurium Warquanum hybrid. So this one is Anthurium Esmeralda Gem. So it is the crystallinum cross with Warquanum Esmeralda. So nice. This is also a one-of-one plant that they had at the time, so there's not too many. And I did look on their website. Yeah, always out of stock. So really glad that I also managed to snag this one. This was the first leaf, and for some other reason it did have some spots on it. It's definitely not a pest spot. I think it's just the plant that kind of did that. But this is the new one. Doesn't look like there's any damage on this one. Some of the older leaves that it came with doesn't have that either. So I think now it should be quite good. So I'm really excited to see what that one looks like. Absolutely love a Warquanum hybrid. On the shelf just above that is more of the Anthurium Blue Mag Cross Vigilii hybrid. So it's kind of just an overflow because there wasn't enough space on that shelf. Over at the back, I have another Warquanum hybrid, and this one is Anthurium Andean Moon cross with Warquanum. This one is relatively new, and this is the Andean Moon cross with Warquanum. You can definitely see the Warquanum coming through on that elongated leaf. I can't wait for this one to grow. It's going to be so beautiful. At the back, I do have a Anthurium King of Spades little small seedling. That does have a new leaf on the way, so exciting times ahead. So that is a relatively new seedling as well. This one is the seed parent is Anthurium Red Velvet Cake cross with Zara, and then the pollen parent is Vishal Purple. So a lot of colors in that one. So I'm really excited to see what this one is going to look like. It is working on a new leaf, so that is going to be exciting to see what the emergent of that one is going to look like. Super excited. This looks like a seedling, but I've had it for months. This is the Anthurium Ace of Spades. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of those plants where you just need to find one space for it and just keep it there forever. Otherwise, it is going to take a step back. So there's actually two growth points. So each leaf that you can see is a growth point. When I moved in July, all of the leaves on this growth point died. This one literally just came back in the last couple of weeks. But in that time, this growth point activated. So now I'm going to have two plants in the future, hopefully. But yeah, quite a finicky plant, if I have to say so myself. So hopefully, like I always say, maybe it's just going through a little bit of a teenage stage, even though it's a little bit small. But in any case, maybe it's just going through its awkward teenage phase, and in a couple of months it should look much better, and then it will grow much more consistently for me. Behind that, I have this Anthurium Black Anaconda crossed with Nigrolamnum GG. You can definitely see the Nigrolamnum GG color and shape coming through on this leaf. Super excited to see how that one progress. And over here we have yet another Anthurium Warquanum hybrid. So this one is Papillolaminum crossed with Ace of Spades crossed with Warquanum. So this one I got a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't repot it in pot. As you can see, it is in soil. It does have some nice roots coming through. This leaf was still unfurling, so I was just waiting for this one to harden off, and then I was going to repot it. So probably in the next week or so, I will do a repot on that one. Behind there, I have a Anthurium Silver Blush. This one I really struggled with. I'm not quite sure why. I am going to start a new series in the next couple of weeks where I have Terrible Plant Tuesdays. So I diagnose and then try to correct plants that is not doing too well, and hopefully that's going to be a good learning experience. But this one I did repot. So this one I did have in leca, so I transitioned it to pun, and I think it's doing much better. I can already see some nice roots coming through, so hopefully that's going to be a success. Over here I have a Regale hybrid, and this one is the Bessia F cross with Regale. So beautiful. Does have a new leaf on the way. So pretty. This one is such a fast grower. Even the roots are growing so nicely. Over on the top shelf, getting probably the most light, is one of the only philodendrons in here. Philodendrons are not plants that I find quite finicky with humidity, so it's quite a surprise, I think, to see a philodendron in here. But this is Philodendron luxurians, and the only reason why it is in here is because I transferred it to pond, so I really wanted to give it a good chance of surviving. The other one that I had, I did transfer to pond, and I put it in ambient and it died. So I wanted to give this one as much chance of surviving as I possibly can. But now that it's doing quite well, I think this is probably like, this is the newest leaf. It's quite big, and I think it's probably like the third or the fourth leaf since I've put it in pond. So definitely has established. So in the next couple of weeks, this one is probably also going to find a spot in my living room. Right next to it is Anthurium regale. This one I bought as a seedling, and it's growing quite nicely. It has a new leaf on the way. I haven't looked at what it looks like, but pretty. This one I got because my other one that lived in ambient, you'll see it in a second, now lives in the Growtent. Spoiler alert. This one I did get because that one wasn't doing well, but as you will see, it's doing much better. Over in the front, beautiful emergent, and the light is shining on it, so you won't be able to see the intense purplish maroon color of it. That is so nice. And then it hardens off to such a green color with such a nice sheen. This one is the Bessia F cross papillolaminum. So nice. Right next to it is the Anthurium Bessia F. Such a super stunning plant. Absolutely love the neon veins that is going through this. It kind of looks like it's just lighting up this entire plant. So beautiful. Right next to it is what looks like a struggling plant. This one is the Crystallinum crossed with Bessia F. Yeah, and this one, I actually don't know what's wrong. And again, it is a testament that not all plants grow well in a grow tent. You have to put in a little bit of work to make sure that your plant still looks beautiful. This one, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I think I don't know what it is. I really don't know what the issue is. I've repotted it maybe once and it didn't resolve the issue, and I moved it around in the tent. So once I put it very close to the light, did the same thing. It was kind of hidden at the back, did the same thing. I put it here where maybe get some medium light. It's doing the same thing. So yeah, I'm a little bit stumped on this one. Maybe this one is something that I just need to put in ambient, and yeah, maybe it's going to do much better there than here. So let's see. At the back, I have this Anthurium Magnificum Verde. This is actually a cutting that I took from my mother plant, which is in ambient, and I've decided to get it going in here, but it got going so quickly, and in no time it gave me such big leaves, and it's just a constant grower. Look at that, constantly putting out a new leaf as well as a new flower. So this one has some stigmatic fluid. I'll see, I do have quite a bit of pollen in the freezer, so I'll see if there's anything that I would want to use to pollinate this one. Alright, so that is all of the plants on the stand. Let's move on to this one. And over here, it does look very busy. even though there's only 4 plants on this top shelf, because these leaves are growing so big, they kind of look like a little bit of a forest over here. This one is the new leaf on my absolutely stunning Anthurium BCAF. It is just absorbing so much light. It is growing so nicely. So pretty. Can't get over that plant. Right next to it is my Anthurium crystal whole cross crystal. And the newest leaf is actually at the back here. So nice. Also at the back here, I do have a little bit of a different looking plant. So it's a nice corrugated plant. It's called Anthurium Growtent. So nice. This is the newest leaves that I just got a couple of weeks ago. And it looks like the growth point is being a little bit big. So hopefully I should be getting some new leaves there as well. The other one that's in here that I'm going to try and see if we can get there is the Anthurium Crystal Mag cross with Metallicum. So beautiful. This plant also lived out in ambient, and surprisingly it actually did much better than what it did in the grow tent for a while. In the grow tent, it just kept on giving me these small leaves, and it went through, like I always say, a awkward teenage phase. But when I eventually put it in ambient, it just took off from there. It produced these massive leaves that just came out of nowhere. It is so cool. I just put it in here a couple of weeks ago because I do want to pollinate it. I actually have pollinated it. So this is, as you can see, there are some bumps on this one, so it does look like it took. So this one I did cross with a Fortune and cross with Red Bane Dark Phoenix. So I really wanted to go with the elongated shape of that leaf, but then the red veins that this Crystal Mag Cross Metallicum has is just so beautiful. So I think that's going to be a good hybrid to look at. Over here is the biggest plant of them all, and this is the Blue Mag. I won't be able to move it so that you can see the full beauty of that plant, but I'll put in a picture so that you can just see the scale of that plant. It's just so beautiful. It's in here because I dropped it a couple of months ago and it pretty much broke off all of the leaves, all of the flowers that it had at the time. So I wanted to put it in here just to give it some extra help. And I think now it's doing quite well. It does have a new leaf on the way. Look at how small that leaf is. And then it gets to that size. It is insane. A lot of people really like this plant. The last flower that it had, I did take the pollen. So I'm waiting for the next flower to come so I can pollinate that one and we can have more blue magnificums in the country. So that's going to be quite cool. While I am there, I'll also show you this Anthurium Crystal Mag that is right next to that plant. This one is so cool. It has a few sinuses out of nowhere. So cool. Also has a couple of flowers over here. This one is not pollinated. I'm just planning on taking the pollen off of it, which I already have started. So maybe in the next couple of days, there should be much more and I can take it and use it in my next project. Inflow, I did pollinate with the Magnificum cross subsignatum. So I really love the round shape that this one have, and then that one have a little bit of an elongated shape. I think the two of them is going to be quite cool. That one also had a white sinus, but now it's also showing a little bit of a few sinus. So it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. Definitely looks like it is successful. It does look like bumps are forming on this one, so that should be quite cool. While I am here as well, as you can see, a whole lot of seedlings growing over here. So there is some Crystal Mag cross Indo-Dres here, and I recently posted on my Instagram a reel of an update on these ones, but they are getting so big. This is only the second leaf. They are getting the third leaf, and as you can see, they're really getting some color in them. So beautiful. There are ones that look quite variegated, so you can see over there, and the variegated leaves normally come out quite minty like that. So really cool to see. And then I finally got in this batch a very special looking one. So you would see here, pretty much all of them have quite a heart-shaped leaf to it, but then this one looks much more elongated, so that's going to be quite exciting to see. Can't wait to see that one grow up. So cool. All right, but let's get back to the shelf. So we already looked at the top one, so let's look at the second shelf. So this is Anthurium color black here, and right next to it is a plant that I bought as a Anthurium forgetii. It's definitely looking like there's some forgetii in here, but definitely a hybrid. Because of this elongated leaf shape, I do think that is a hybrid, and definitely a forgetii hybrid, seeing that it has a little bit of fusiness. I think I put it on the Anthurium Addicts group before, and someone did say that it looks like the forgetii cross magnificum that this seller also sells. So let's see. A couple of leaves, we should be able to tell what exactly it is. There is a new leaf on the way, so excited to see that one too. Hopefully it's going to be just as daggery as this one. Next to that, I do have this Bessia F cross forgetii. I absolutely love this plant. The Bessia F heart leaf shape is just so cool, and then the forgetii with the little bit of fusinus in here and the elongated leaf tail is just so cool. I can't wait for this plant to grow up and I see what the more mature leaves look like. Next to that, I have another Anthurium Bessia F, and you can easily see why I have three of them. They all look completely different. So that one is quite nice. I bought it because it has quite limited secondary veins, but that one looks like it's getting a little bit more, but much less than the ones that I have in my collection, and it's much rounder than the other ones. So really excited about that one. So below that, I have probably one of my most beautiful plants, and this one is the crystallinum crossed with Bessia F crossed with papillolaminum. So beautiful. This is the new leaf, and so while I was in Cape Town, this one did grow and get stuck at the top of the shelf. So it does have quite a bit of damage, but hopefully it is still going to grow quite nicely. And the next one I will watch like a hawk to make sure that that one comes out quite beautifully, because honestly, this is really one of my most prettiest plants in my collection. Alright, so next to that is another two Anthurium warocranum hybrids. So this one is what they call Anthurium royal. So this is Anthurium warocranum crossed with regale. How absolutely stunning is this one? So pretty. Love that. This one, like I said, is also a warocranum hybrid, and this is the new leaf on the pallidiflorum crossed with warocranum. So nice. This is what an older leaf looks like. This one still quite new. Right next to the Pellicrust warocranum, this one is the Anthurium forgetii white stripes. So nice. Such a round leaf shape, and I love the crystal veins that it has, as well as, just to top it off, a little bit of a pink sinus. So pretty. A little bit of a slow grower compared to all of my other forgetis that I have, but yeah, nothing yet. Right next to it is a papillolaminum crossed with Bessia F. And this one is also unique that I got off the Equigenera live sale. And this one was the only one they said that had such a round leaf shape. So quite interesting. It does look like it has a little bit of a discoloration on top. Never seen that before. Alright, at the bottom, another really sad looking plant, or actually a plant that looks like there's nothing going on here, and this is Anthurium anale. So this is also a corrugated plant, and I think seeing that it's all the way at the bottom of the shelf, I'm also not paying a lot of attention to it. So just like the Kuna, we need to pay much more attention to the ones at the bottom. This one is also a very nice plant. This is Anthurium sp, so not really defined. It's a species that's not really defined yet. So yeah, quite interesting. very slow grower as well. Hasn't put out much leaves in the last couple of months that I've had it, but definitely a cool looking plant. It looks much darker in person than what it looks like on the camera. So quite excited to see what that one does. Right next to it, I do have an anthurium regale. And this one is actually one that was in my living room before. The kids played in the living room, and that one got some scars from playing in there. But there was a lot of plants in that area, so that one was the casualty. So it lost pretty much all of its leaves, and I had to regrow it from the stump. So that is the first leaf. I did repot it. Back then it was a chunky mix, and as you guys know, I do better with pond mix. So yeah, I think maybe another 2 or 3 leaves, then she will be put back into ambient. Over on this shelf, which is the last one, we have this beautiful, which looks like a luxuriance, but it is the Anthurium SP crossed with luxuriance. This one has more of a round shape. The previous leaves look more like the SP silver, where it has more bunny lobe ears. So we'll see what this one does. Really nice silvery color on this previous leaf. At the back of it, I have my AOS cross Forgetii, which is tracking along okay, I guess. Right at the back, in a little bit of a dark corner, even though it doesn't look quite dark now, this is another Anthurium dresseri. That one is potted in Leka, and it is doing so well. It has a new leaf on the way, and just like plants in ambient, I also have some old leaves that I have to take care of. Here I have some seedlings on the left, and these are 4 seedlings that I got in a seedling race. This one is the Anthurium Forgetii crossed with Crystal Hope. So growing quite nicely. I absolutely love the extra silvery veins on this one. This one did get hurt, silvery veins on this, even though there's 2 crystals in there, but yeah. And right next to that one is another one of the seedling race plants, and this is the inverse of this one actually. This is the Crystal Cross Forgetii Silver. So, yep. Interesting. I think the guy that ran the seedling race actually forgot about this, because we were supposed to end this competition in October, and yeah, we haven't heard anything from him for a while. Hope that is okay. Over here, I also have some alocasias. So this is the anthurium.
What?
This is the alocasia venom, and it was in here since I got it as a corm, and it's just grown so nicely. So once, maybe another 2 leaves, then I'll put it in ambient where all of the other alocasias lives. And all of these ones just popped up as corms. So I had gathered a couple of corms that I actually didn't know what they were. So I just potted up and put it in here for extra humidity. This one looks like a alocasia sinuata. Over here, I think I have some Fridex and no idea what's in there. This one looks like alocasia tenderosa, and this one watsoniana. This one also grew as a corm, and this is the pink, or the elbow, a mosaica elbow. So as you can see, I got it as a really small plant, but it is sizing up so quickly, and it has another leaf incoming. So maybe once that one hardens off, it'll also go with the other alocasias. And that one is, and there's still some blue mag X Forgetii seedlings on there. On the shelf above that, I have a Aurea dragon scale. At the back, I have a alocasia mellow. Next to that, I have a corm of a pink nobilis. Here I have a silver blush cross KOS. And here is another blue mag Forgetii. I desperately need to repot these. But look at this one. It looks so interesting. It's completely dark, and the veining is very interesting. It also has some red. Camera is not putting it up, but there's some red in that sinus as well. It's actually really interesting. It's a little bit different to all of the other ones that I've had. Over here we have some more corms. No idea what's in there. I think there's about 5 or 6 corms. This has always been my preferred method for both alocasia corms and anthurium seedlings. And this is mostly leca and then a little bit of a moss so that the corms can start growing in the moss and then eventually put their roots down in the leca, and it'll be easier for me to then transition them to semi-hydro because they're used to this leca. In here, also some corms that just sprouted. Didn't know what they were, but I think this one also looks like the tenderusa, and this one actually looks like the black cobra. So excited to see what that one ends up being. Another, I think this one I got as a small plant. This is the alocasia chanturii variegated. So newest leaf, it just opened about 2 days ago. A lot of pink on here. So really excited about that one. So it does look like that one is going to be much bigger than this one. So we'll see. Maybe another 2 or 3 leaves of this one in the tent. Then I will also take this to the alocasia corner that I have in the living room. This one is also a dragon scale aurea. So I think that one was either corm or small plant that came with this one. So I just put it up separately. It's doing okay. Looks like there is a new leaf on the way. There's another dragon's hill aurea. Over at the back, there is a alocasia loco. So this one I thought died. I didn't do anything to this one. I thought there was nothing left. But a couple of weeks ago, I just started seeing that there's some new leaves coming, and it actually does look like there is quite a bit of roots in there as well. So that's my miracle plant. Never write off an alocasia. So I think that's it for this Growtent. That is one of the plants that is in here. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing what is in this grow tent. If you have any questions or comments for me, leave it in the comment section and we can have a good chat about it. But with that said, have a lekker rest of your day. Bye bye.